Say it slow, let it bloom. The smokehouse presence under cedar light and a midnight moon. Boots on the porch in the screen door size, lantern glow dancing in a jar of flies. Old strings hum where the embers sleep, and the whole front yard feels low and deep. Barrel by the fence and a weather bench, smell of pine smoke hanging over the fence. A busted old truck in the dust by the shed, and the radio whispers from the kitchen ledge. They come from the highway, they come from the ridge, riding in quiet as the river bridge. Hats tipped down with a grin on half, like they known this place since the first my back. A smoke, a breeze, and the cold stay kind. Every spark moves like a small lost sign. There's a story in the grain of the tabletop, in a slow sweet hush that the night won't stop. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, on the stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft and the night outside. Miss Rose at the door with a tray of light, cornbread gold and a mason jar bright. One boy laughs with a chip in his tooth, says the world gets kinder in the smokehouse roof. There's a slide guitar crying from the back, like a train on a line that don't look back. And the boots tap time on the plank wood floor, while the moon hangs low by the kitchen door. The yeomen out with their coffee cups, saying pass that flame, let the past wake up. There's a long drawn piece in the evening's hand, like a slow sunrise on a desert land. And the girls in denim with their hairpin loose, got a windbone shining a sweet sad truth. Every laugh falls soft in the drifting haze, like a memory caught in a copper blaze. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, under stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft and the night outside. If the road gets wild and the miles get cold, come back to the fire where the hush takes hold. Let the smoke curl up like a prayer in the trees, let the hard world fade in the evening breeze. One deep voice calls from the timberline, and the whole porch answers in a slow unwind. No rush, no dust, just a steady flame, only the night and the ones by name. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, under stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, Cowboy Nation? How's everybody doing this morning? My guy, Angry Cowboy Fan up in here. What's the deal with everybody? How's everybody doing this morning?
Nah, man, you know, I can't complain. Another beautiful morning above ground. You know what I'm saying? Represent the Dallas Cowboys for training camp.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Training camp is starting. Training camp is starting, I believe, today. Oh, boy. I mean, we got some good nuggets yesterday from Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and Jane Slater. I had to throw her in there because, she started this mess. You know what I'm saying? So, it's stirring the pot, stirring the, you know what? That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
Jerry, you don't have to stir the pot this time. Jane's going to do it for you. But yeah, man, how's everybody, man? How's everybody in the chat? Let me go over to the chat, talk to everybody, man. Let me see here. We got Oscar Perini. What's the deal with you, bro? Jeremy Betts. How's everything this morning? All is well, sir. All is well. Vinny Hagan, always in the building. You know what I'm saying? Carlito Cash. What up, bruh? Bot Rex. How's everything this morning? 864. Saw you on Henny's stream. Always a good time when you're around. You keep it funky. You stick to your guns, and I appreciate that. Let me see. Who's this? Reginald Mims, my guy. How's everybody this morning? It's good to see you. Big Dow, 8604. What's the deal with your Big Dow? You know what I'm saying? VD, of course, I tried my best to make it as catchy as possible. You know what I'm saying? But AI has a funny way of making things work. You know what I'm saying? So, hallelujah. What's the deal, bro? It's good to see you. Lee Commander.
Hey.
How are you, bro? How are you today? Back in another Cowboys stream, and I understand why you're here. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see. Who else we got up in here? D Shift. What's the deal, brother? You know what I'm saying? So, I understand that as you saw the thumbnail, we have a guest that is to be joining us at some point. He is not here yet, but until he gets here, you get to deal with me and my guy Angry.
You know.
You know what I mean? So what did you take from Jerry's comments yesterday?
Bro, change.
Mr. Mojo, change.
Change. One word, change. And he just seemed, and I'm not glazing, please don't think that I'm glazing Jerry Jones or anything like that, but when he does do good things, I got to give him props for it, because I can give him hell when he does bad. This man was up there minimal and stuttering and stuff, and like when that's happening, he's trying to find the answers to the questions, because he's trying to maybe go around the question or something like that. But yesterday it was like everybody was calm, cool, concise. Everybody just knew what they were up there to talk about, and knew the questions and everything. Like, bro, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, I got some pretty good nuggets from it. I mean, when Miss Jane Slater, slaying Jane Slater, shout out to her, when she decided she wanted to ask a certain question about a certain someone, I'm not going to dive too far into the name. Cowboys Nation was in an uproar. As soon as I woke up this morning, my guy CFT, shout out to CFT Rome, he told y'all last night, this morning you're going to wake up and you're going to see it everywhere. And already Get Up is on their shit. Okay. Already Get Up is on their shit, bro. So when it comes to Mr. Crosby, it's not a bad look. Okay. It's not a bad look. But we all saw the same thing. What is today? Wednesday. We all saw the same thing Monday. Someone requested a trade. Okay. And I'm a big believer in that person, because I think me personally, I think he adds an element to this team, an element of versatility to this team that is sorely needed. Now, I understand we already have DTs, but if you look at the last four or five Super Bowl champions, they had DTs. They had super DTs. So I think adding a Vita Vea would be able to add that versatility with Quentin Williams, who we know has pass rush ability. Kenny Clark, who also has pass rush ability. You and I spoke about this yesterday at length. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The things that you can do when you have a body like that. Now, we get it. Vita Vea is not a every down DT. Nah, he's there for a purpose. Stop the run. Stop.
Absolutely.
No one's running on you when you have big old Vita Vea, Mr. 50 right in the center, Quentin on one side, and Kenny on the other. No one's running on you. And it does more than just that. It also creates one-on-one matchups for your outside linebackers. And then you got to think about it. You see Jayshon Barham, you see D Winters, you see DeMarvion Overshown. At any time, they're going to be super clean. They're going to be super clean. You know what I'm saying? So that adds an extra added pressure on the opposing offense. So that's just where I'm at with it. That's how I feel.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I kind of said it on X as well. I was like, man, what happened?
Damn. All right, so
he had to cancel.
No, it's not that he had to cancel. 10 a.m. Central Time. I thought when he said CT, he was in Connecticut.
No,
My
Central.
apologies.
It's only an hour behind, man.
Yeah, God damn it.
He's like,
God
yo,
damn
I thought,
it, dog.
it's 9 in the morning over here. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, we could pivot.
Yeah.
He's texting me back right now.
Yo, we entertain, baby. We entertain. That's what we do. We go live all the time without people interviewing. So
This is true.
for an hour, we could just kick it with Cowboys Nation, talk about the press conference yesterday, and then at the hour mark,
I mean, shit, man. Look,
we got RJ Ochoa.
All right, shit. Hell yeah, it works for me. Guess what? We're having a 2-hour show today, guys. So prepare yourselves. You know what I'm saying? First hour, you get me and Angry. Second hour, you get our guest. You know what I'm saying? No. Don't say never mind. It's cool. He's going to be here. Okay. It was my screw up. Me and time zones are not friends. Okay. Me and time zones are not friends.
See, but the cool thing about Cowboys Nation is, bro, the other night I was on a 4-hour NFC East roundtable and they all was there. 4 hours. They all was there. Dope. So 1 hour wait, hey, I think they're going to be there too.
It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal at all. You know what I'm saying? Likewise, I live in reality as well, sir. And my reality is me and time zones are not friends. Okay. I thought CT meant Connecticut. Right? Which it does. But hey, it is what it is. That's life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to pivot a little bit. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get what you came for. You just have to wait a little longer.
No, man. Anticipation.
I mean, we all won $1 million. Sometimes you got to work a little harder for it. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yo, Mr. Mojo, you said, I still wonder why Ravens pulled out on the Crosby trade. They pulled out because that medical came back. The medical came back and they had a huge concern with his knee and he didn't pass the physical. So if you don't pass the physical, that's putting blind faith. You know what I'm saying? It's putting blind faith in a player that may not be able to return back to the field. But thank goodness for, any football fan, but most importantly, Max Crosby, it was nothing. And he's returned back to the field. And right now plans on being a huge contributor to the Las Vegas Raiders defense.
Indeed. I mean, look, let's be honest. Like we understood what was going on last year, during the off season, shall I say. We knew that he had surgery and we knew that it was going to take some time for him to get back. Okay. Now the Ravens, I don't want to say jumped the gun, but they wanted their guy. So they went and tried to get him. You know what I'm saying? And the medicals didn't come back. The medicals didn't come back right. So, they pivoted. They wanted their refund and they pivoted. They went and got Hendrickson. There it is. They went and got Mr. Hendrickson, which is fine. They pivoted. That's just how life works. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're not going to get everything that you want when you want it. You know what I'm saying? And to hear Jerry say, we never pulled back. We never gave up. We never took a step back from it. That adds a vote of confidence. Not just in their ability to want better for the team, but knowing that even when they can't get something, they're still going to work hard at it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things that we've been negative about when it comes to the Joneses in the front office is, oh man, they don't do anything, they don't make any moves, yada yada yada. Well, they're trying to make moves. We tried to get Nakobe Dean. He didn't want the Cowboys. We tried to get the guy out of Green Bay, that linebacker. He didn't want the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? It takes two people.
Yeah. Jerry Jones in the front office really have some reconstruction to do for the Dallas Cowboys to be that official landing spot like it was back in, the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, you got players out there that, oh man, I'd love to play for the Dallas Cowboys, but it's not as prevalent as it was back in those days. So we got some renovation to do in the Dallas Cowboys organization before it's that hot spot destination like it's Cancun.
Indeed. Eagles Drew, what's the deal with you? It's nice to see you. Next level, Lloyd, what's the deal, my guy? How are you today? You know what I'm saying? There was a few more people who snuck up in here. Common Sense Lab. You know what I'm saying? Ewing, 1985. All right, so Ewing, 1985. KH, 8648. What's the deal with you, bro? Ewing, 1985. Can I ask a question about your name, sir? Does that mean you're a Patrick Ewing fan? Because if you are, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm a Michael Jordan fan, and Michael Jordan literally picked on Patrick Ewing his entire basketball career. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But Ewing was a hell of a player. He was a hell of a player. Top 75. I mean, 75 greatest players. So not taking nothing from him. He just got terrorized by Michael Jordan a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take anything away from those guys, man. Especially the Knicks, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, John Starks. You know, that era. Yo,
Anthony Mason. Shots fired. Like, yo, Anthony, man, he was one. He was one you didn't want to cross on the basketball court. But we're not here to talk basketball. We're here to talk Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I decided I wanted to pull out, in lieu of the guest that we have today, I wanted to pull out a little something.
Oh, the crispy clean.
Yes, sir. I wanted to pull out that good golden black 88. I'm definitely going to wear this during the joint practice with the Saints, just to troll a little bit. But you know, I had to pull it out. It's a beautiful one. It's one of my favorites, and why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
You know, I'm curious. You know, the Dallas Cowboys, they can make it to where they got the color rush, the white out. But when can we get a blackout? You know what I'm saying? When can we get an all blue?
Black on blue? Or blue on black, shall I say. You know what I mean? Black total, blue letter. That would be fucking gorgeous. That would be gorgeous.
Man, I'm trying to see it. Like back in the 90s when they came out with the jerseys with the stars on the shoulders and everything. I was like, oh, man, I got to get one of those. I ended up getting a starter jacket like that. I'm waiting for them. Go ahead and hit us with something new.
Please.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Something new.
I love the classic blue and white on blue. I love it.
Yeah.
But let's get up with the times. You know what I'm saying? Who has some gorgeous one? As much as I can't stand you Commanders, those Jones is crazy. I love the Commanders inaugural Jones. The black Jones. Oh, bro, they're gorgeous. They are good.
Yeah, the black with the gold and burgundy trimming. Yeah, man.
I can't stand the Commanders, but that's a gorgeous jersey, bro. Like, I can't stand the Pigeons, but they're black Jones. They're sexy. You can make the same case for the Detroit Lions. Man, those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jersey fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Jersey fan. Who else walked up in here? Mr. Mojo. I saw a few more. Timo, what's the deal? I know I saw somebody else walk up in here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all talking to everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? Show that respect for everybody. Cowboys Keystone. There he is. What's the deal, my guy? It's good to see you, bro.
We got Sub-Zero.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we must have been born in the same year. That's what I'm talking about.
We got Sub-Zero Prime in the house.
Oh, boy, what's the deal with you?
What's going on with your Sub-Zero? Yo. It's good to see everybody up in here this morning.
Everything beats the Kelly Green. Everything beats the Kelly Green.
Yo, get out of my head. Yo, I was thinking that. I was like, man, I like the Eagles jerseys except for that nasty old Kelly Green jersey. That is gross.
It looks like bird shit mixed with puke. I'm just saying. Well, yeah, I mean,
like I give it props. I give y'all props on the jerseys, but that one jersey, y'all need to go ahead and trash them things. Unless it's the Kelly Green on white.
Okay.
like y'all trying to get this
Okay.
year, then I can okay, that's a dope jersey.
I've owned one Eagles jersey, one piece of Eagles, in my entire lifetime. Want to tell you why I did it? Want to tell you when I did it? I did it the year they traded T.O. to the Cowboys.
Oh, what, you just got it to get a
Just
T.O.
to get
jersey?
a T.O. just to be a dick. Just to be a dick. Just to be. I burned it later, but yeah, just to be a dick. Okay.
Yeah, I
It
can't,
burned,
bro.
It burned. It really burned my skin. Like I didn't wear it often. I really didn't.
Bro, my grandsons, they started becoming Cowboys fans this past year, and Cassidy, the 8-year-old, he comes in one day and he's like, yeah, I seen a guy with an Eagles hat on, and I came up to him and said, you know the Eagles suck, right? And I'm like, damn, is this DNA? I mean, does it run through the blood? Because I ain't teach him that.
My daughter,
you know,
my daughter, my 3-year-old. So the people at her daycare, they like to troll me. You know what I mean, go Birds, go Phillies. You know, sometimes I want to uppercut her. Okay, her mother is an Eagles fan, and she rolls off the top rope, like off the top rope. Listen, we got 3 little ones in this house. You're trying to steal 2 from me. You're not getting the 3rd one. My little guy is a Cowboy. Okay, you can't fight me. We can do this shit all night long. You will not. You will not. Okay. I walked in the house last night. She had every night when I come home from work, I go upstairs, kiss the babies. You know what I'm saying? I looked in his crib. This heifer put Eagles onesie on him.
Oh,
I said, heifer, what is this?
Nope.
Yeah, it got that close. I was gonna wake him up. Hey, bro, we got to take that off, man. We can't have that. Like, I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, so this morning I wake up and he's coming down. He's got on his Savannah banana shirt. I'm like, good. She took that shit off. He does not need to wear that crap. Like,
bro, I tell you, man, my wife went all out for me for last Christmas. And it wasn't nothing like tangible, something that I could grab and add to, the studio or whatever. But what it was is that when all the grandkids came over, and we got like 9 grandkids, when they all came over, they opened a gift for themselves, and it was an Angry Cowboys Fan hoodie. So they all opened the Angry Cowboys Fan hoodie and they all put it on. And even the little baby girl, she had a pink one. so it was super dope just to get that picture. That's man dope. It was crazy.
I'm actually one of the parents for my son's t-ball team actually does apparel. So I sent her some designs for the smokehouse, so she's working on that. When I get them, I want to see if I can get a few more done. I definitely needs one of those though. I need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn how much it costs. I'll pay for it.
Oh shoot, man. Yeah, the wife put the TLC in this thing, so I'm gonna try and do a giveaway at some point and have a few Angry Cowboys Fan hoodies, but that's a different story.
Likewise. But yeah, I'd like to try my hand at some merch. You know what I'm saying? For the family that keeps coming to see us every day. You know what I'm saying? So they deserve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yes, I will try to make it as affordable as possible. I don't want to break your pockets. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able, if indeed you want to rock some smokehouse gear, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure that you get the best quality at a very reasonable price. I don't want you to have to, spend $25, $30 for a t-shirt. That's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
$10-15, I think that's reasonable for a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? 20, 25, maybe even $30 for a hoodie. I think that's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? $15, $20 for a hat. I think that's pretty reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shoot, all those hats you got on the back in the background, them things was $35 or
Yes, they
more.
were. Yes, they were. And I made sure I paid for it. Actually, no. No, I got them
Oh,
wholesale. I got them
oh
wholesale.
shoot,
I
what?
think I spent in total $95 for 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. $95 for 9 hats.
What?
Yeah, I got them wholesale.
Oh
I
man,
look, listen.
I'm doing
You,
something wrong.
people may scoff. I'm a cheap nigga. Okay, like I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. I ain't got no money. Like I work a 9 to 5, and I pay property taxes and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get it how I can get it, and if
Yeah,
I can get it that way, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Oh hell yeah, next level, I got you, bro. Hell yeah, I got you, bro. Don't you worry. I mean, that goes for everybody in the chat. Like again, I want to make it as affordable as possible for everybody. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to, take out a second mortgage on their house or, I mean, pay a fucking car loan just to get some merch. Like that's not cool.
Right. Right. And right now in this day and age, like making the merch and getting the wholesale from across seas, it's really it hits the
For sure.
pockets. So I know for myself what I'm trying to do, because I've had people ask like, "Yo, where can I order one of them Angry Cowboys fan hoodies?" And I'm like, if y'all knew, like the hoodie itself with nothing on it was $25. Then to get the lettering and stuff, that was another $20. And then my wife put everything together. But I'm not trying to, put starter prices out there, what a starter jacket would cost. So I got to figure out the ins and outs to make it, like you said, as cheap as possible.
Sure. Mr. D Shift has a
Shit,
question for us, and he'd really love to know. Angry got all the monies. Just I wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what question do we most, or what are we most excited for getting answered this training camp?
The question that I'm most excited about getting answered, I think how the defense responds to what Christian Parker's putting out there on the field. I think that's the most important thing to me. I mean, I know what the offense is capable of. I know what the relationship that Brian Schottenheimer and Clayton Adams has with the offense. Kind of not worried about that. Just, you ain't even, I mean, I want you to progress, just don't regress. That's all. That's the only worry that I have with them. It's all about the defense and intellectually, if they can grasp what Christian Parker's trying to do and run with it.
Somewhat of the similar answer, but not with the players. We've talked about this even before we even got on. My thing is, what's going on with you, Stephen Mack? My question is, the question that I want to see answered is, how do the ancillary coaches underneath Christian Parker really get into the guys? How do they add, how do they teach what Christian Parker really wants, and then of course how it's implemented? But I think the coaching, because again, like last season, you can't tell me Deron Bland just fell off a map just because of an injury. You can't tell me Trayvon Diggs forgot how to play defense. You can't tell me that. It's impossible for the entire defense to fall off a cliff. That has to do with coaching. Now, again, the players have some culpability because they're the ones out there doing it. But if they're not doing it the way that it's emphasized, then that's a coaching issue. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not being delivered in the way that it should. True Cowboy, what's the deal with you, bro? Glad you're here, my guy.
True Cowboy. Yeah, I believe the same thing. But I like what True Cowboy says. He says, I believe if the Cowboys can communicate on defense and play fast, we should be better defensively. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I know there was another comment out there that was saying that, pretty much we can't get any worse than we were last year. I mean, you can drop from 30 to 32, but still 30, 32, that's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. You still in the bottom third of the league in your
Facts.
defense. So yeah, really the only way to go is up from this standpoint. And I feel that with that press conference yesterday and what Jerry Jones was talking about, he himself sees that this team can go up. So I'm going to mortgage everything that I have to make sure that this team can continue the trajectory that it's on. I'm excited,
So
my
am
dude.
I, bro. This is of course everybody knows I've spoken on it before. Last season I wanted to do this, but I started literally at the beginning of the season. So I didn't get an off season to be able to bring this to you. This year, the fact that I'm able to start where I'm at, like in the beginning of the season, even like the off season, is beneficial, not just for me, but for the viewers, for Angry, because I mean, again, he opened this door for me, so I'm gonna walk through it, and I'm bringing them with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that, we walking this road together. But the fact that I'm able to take a look at this off season, seeing it through the draft, seeing how things are implemented in voluntary OTAs, and then getting leading into where we are now. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at what I'm seeing right now, I go to this, right? Let me see if I can change that. Wham, make this a little bigger. So, oh shit, no, that's not even gonna work. Wham, I'll bring it back here. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's there. But if you look at these guys, right? If you look at this is your 90-man roster, okay, and of course I split it into two parts: offense, defense. We already know who's. I'll switch to a different graphic, make it a little simpler. Wham! Here we go. There we go. I feel a little bit better about this one. So if we look at this graphic, right, we already it's split in three parts. You got the dudes who are safe. We know who's going to be on this team. Not only does the level of talent that they have say it, but look at the contracts. That matters. Then we look at the
Yeah.
bubble players. There are some players that I'm like, really? Why would they put him on the bubble? You know what I'm saying? I didn't put these players here. My graphic did it the way it did it. Like Ryan Flanoy. I don't believe Ryan Flanoy is a bubble player. I don't think he's a bubble
Nah.
candidate. I think he is locked in. Let me see. There's a few other guys here. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker. There should be no reason why Tyler Guyton and Tyler Booker are both bubble players. Even TJ Bass. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we're talking Drew Shelton, Nate Thomas, if we're looking at it,
Right.
they're not even bubble players. You know what I'm saying? So you could throw them over. You could throw that entire offensive line set, minus Matt Hennessy, who's out for the season, over to the safe area. I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we need the offensive line and the depth. And I think these guys are safe. Johnny Cornelius, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? PJ Locke shouldn't be a bubble player. Savone Rebel shouldn't be a bubble player. I don't think Devin Moore and Malik Hooker are bubble players, but you can keep Kellen Carson there. Josh Butler. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, those are bubble players. Yeah, you look like you wanted to say something.
Yeah. Yo, who the hell the cut candidate? Philantron Fat.
What?
DJ Rogers. And they coming up with Tecmo Bowl names.
Yeah,
over
I
here.
don't, bruh. I look. Okay, all I know,
Like,
I didn't revise it. I should have, but I didn't. So like, it's just weird how they got it. But we know the who's who. We know the who's
get
who.
the who's
You know what
who,
I'm saying?
yeah.
We know that Luke Schoolmaker is more of a bubble guy. You know what I'm saying? We know that
Mhm.
Brevin Spanford or Michael Trigg might be safe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hennessy is out for the season, so you can pretty much sell
I,
that one up.
I kind of get that though. I kind of get why you would have a Luke Schoolmaker, Brevin Spanford, and Michael Trigg on the bubble candidates because they're not a lot.
True.
Jake Ferguson
A lot.
is
Yeah.
a lot, so now it's that tight end 2 and 3 position. Who's going to fill that? So you go to your bubble candidates. And I just feel, and that's a question that I actually got for RJ
Indeed.
Ochoa. Who's going to be that tight end room?
Yeah. I true. I'm 100% sure. I'm like 97% certain. I don't think Luke Schoonmaker is going to be here. I really don't see that happening. I guess it might be just me. I might be on this ledge by myself, but
I see if Michael Trigg can have a convincing offseason, kind of like Stewart did at the tight end position, and not get injured. I don't know. I think Luke Schoonmaker, he may be that odd man out. Just because you spent a premium pick on him doesn't mean that you have to stick with him. Like, they gave him enough seasons in order to get this done, and he hasn't even, in my eyes, and I'm not trying to, down him or anything, but he hasn't taken any steps, whether it's forward nor backward.
True. And I agree, True. He does play special teams, and special teams does matter. But say Michael Trigg walks in the door and he's better on special teams. Say he walks through the door and like his blocking has gotten so much better that it's like, what's the point of Luke Schoonmaker? Now, I'm not saying that he can't make it. Oh shit, Momo's in the chat.
Momo.
What's the deal, Momo? Hey, lead commander, you're not alone anymore. You're not alone anymore. And now you got somebody here with you. You know what I'm saying? 2 burgundy bandits in the same room at the same time. But yeah, like when I'm looking at the tight end, competition, even DJ Rogers has an opportunity to make a move and push somebody off the roster. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, nobody but the safe players are safe. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like if Shadi is true about his competition, nobody's safe, but of course you're safe players. You know what I'm saying? So like if we look at the wide receiver room, like if you're looking at the wide receiver room, who do you think leading up to I'll give it a week. Who do you think within the next week will make the hugest jump or make the most noise leading up to week 2 of training camp?
I think the ones that you have at a lock position, like they're going to get reported on as like, they do that. That's what they do. So I feel that a lot of people are going to give those UDFAs and, the later round picks that type of attention. You might hear Anthony Smith going at it, blah, blah, blah. Is he going at it enough to beat out Trayshawn Holden?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Trayshawn Holden's second year going in with the Dallas Cowboys, he was also going at it last training camp.
True.
So if he has a good training camp this year, he's able to play special teams. I see him beating out a rookie from this year.
I dig it. I can see that. I mean, another year in, he's got some form of experience. I think we saw him more in preseason. I don't think maybe a game in the regular season last season. I don't think we. I think we got not even one. All right.
I don't believe he was in the game.
All right. Well, I mean, we got to see him preseason. Unfortunately for him, and most of the guys who played in the preseason as far as wide receivers, they had Joe Milton throwing them the ball. So yeah, it's kind of hard to evaluate your guys when the dude throwing them the ball throws nothing but howitzers. I'm saying so.
Oh man.
And no shade to Joe, because like, don't get me wrong, I love the ability that he has. I do. I love the ability that he has. Does he understand the nuance of the position? You know what I'm saying? Can he make every throw? You know what I'm saying? We know you can throw the deep ball, and we know that you can wire that joint in there in a tight window. But can you lob pass? Can you anticipate? You You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's
Right.
and I think that's one of his shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he has such arm talent where everything he throws is just a rocket. You know what I'm saying? Like anticipation is not even a thing. But when you get into the ends of the quarterback spectrum, you have to understand, when is the good time to just rifle it in, and when's a good time to take a lot off. You know what I'm saying? And for him, you got to take a
Right.
lot off, like a lot.
Right. You have to, with Joe Milton, you really got to ask yourself the question: is he quarterback talent or pure athletic talent?
True.
Like this man could go out and play basketball with the best of them. Or if you're playing a volleyball game, you want him on your team because he can spike the ball great. Is he an overall athlete or is he the quarterback athlete? And I believe he's just the all-around
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah. I mean, you saw
And
flashes of that during the season. Even like when he got his opportunities, he's able to get out of the pocket and run. You know what I'm saying? He's long. What is 6'5"? You know what I'm saying? 6'5". I think he runs a 4.40, like arm out of this world. But it's here. It's all up here.
yeah, it's the
You know what I'm
intangibles.
saying?
It's definitely the intangibles when it comes to Joe Milton.
I'm going to be honest,
And
Justin Harris. I don't see a bunch of slants being run. Or let me rephrase. I don't think you're going to see George Pickens run a bunch of slants. I don't think that's what you're going to see. We're talking about evolution, right? That was one of the buzzwords that Shotty had in the offseason. We want to evolve. So evolving is taking one thing that you did with one person and completely changing it up. Because if they're going to be watching film, they know most teams know one of two things are going to happen with George Pickens. He's going to run a slant or he's going to run a go ball. Like they know, like, oh shit, George is probably going to run a slant. You know what I'm saying? George is probably going to run a go ball. I think, and the fact that Shotty wants him to move around the line actually ties into the evolution of the position that he's going to be playing. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. We're probably not going to see these guys preseason. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, once the season starts, well, that gives them time. That gives the quarterback and the wide receiver time to gel. That gives CD and George Pickens and Flournoy time to gel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it.
See, I ain't got no problem with the slants because on the slants you can really build off of that. There was times where I believe it was in the Raiders game where Pickens ended up doing an in route, and then it ended up in kind of like a long whip route.
Mhm.
He went in, he cut in, grabbed the ball, whipped it around, and scored a touchdown off of it. So, like, I think in the evolution of his game at the wide receiver position and the play calling from Brian Schottenheimer, implementing more double moves for these players, like implementing double moves. If you're going to go on a go ball, stop and
Stop
go.
and go.
You know,
Sluggos.
yeah.
Things like that.
Act like you about to break it. Act like you about to break in for that slant, and people gonna look at it like, man, we got to stop that slant. We got to stop that slant.
Sure. And
Hit it like you're gonna go with the slant and then break back out.
or
Man.
just elevating his route tree. You know what I'm saying? Elevating his route tree would do wonders for this offense, because then you can go ahead and slant with any damn body. We already know CD is going to win one-on-one. From what we've seen from Ryan Flournoy, he's going to win one-on-one. We already know George is going to win one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting these guys, and you're putting the defenses that we're playing into flux. Like, oh shit. All right. CD's moving. Oh wait, no, that's George. Fuck, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I mean, we've seen it before.
Yeah.
We had that same confusion last season. You know what I'm saying? What was the Green Bay game where you ended up seeing, I think it was Matthew Golden wide open, shifted him over, and there was a bunch of confusion on our side. Next thing you know, you got Matthew Golden wide open straight down the field, or was that Savion? I can't remember his name. He's not a Cowboy. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah. Yeah, like in situations like that, they're going to motion their guys over. It's always a numbers game, and if you don't know how to combat that, that should be coming from your defensive coordinator on, okay, if they motion, this is what you're going to do. But didn't have that communication with Matt Eberflus last year, especially the green dots that were on the field. A guy that he wanted to bring to the
Handpicked.
Cowboys,
Handpicked.
so you figured they would be kind of on the same page when it came to adjustments on the defensive side of the ball, but nah. I got a feeling that this year gonna be different
Yeah,
though.
again, it's all about evolution. So if Shady really wants to evolve this offense, I'm here for it. I'm waiting to see it.
Mhm.
I think we're probably going to run the ball a little more. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, running back two is from what everybody else thinks is up in the air. I personally think that it's Malik Davis's position to lose. I'm a
Really?
firm believer in that. Like there's only but so many times you can give a dude a shot, and then he comes in and proves you right. You know what I'm saying? Like what Mike McCarthy didn't do with him, Shoddy is doing with him. You know what I'm saying? What was that? The San Francisco game where Tony Pollard got hurt. So you don't bring in
Mhm.
Rico Dowdle, but you don't even bring in Malik Davis. But Malik Davis was literally the second best back we had on the team. So we probably win that game if we continue to run. And he's got juice. You know what I'm saying? 3 years
Mhm.
after that, he's still got juice. Like he walks in, he gets cut. He walks in off the couch, 5 carries for 66 yards. And last season, almost every time he touched the ball, it was a house call. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I mean, I think it's his to lose.
Bro, as much as I want to agree with you, as much as I want to put Malik Davis in that running back two spot, like I don't think the Dallas Cowboys view him like that. I honestly feel like the Cowboys have friend zoned Malik Davis. It's like those chick flicks. Whenever you got the girl with glasses over there giving advice to the main character, but the main character just keep ignoring her for the prep. That's what keeps happening with Malik Davis. Warn him, like even though he comes up whenever they call his number, he shows up, shows out. We're like, nah. So I kind of feel like it's Jadon Blue's position to lose for the simple fact I feel like the Cowboys are really trying to force that square peg into the round hole. Maybe it's because he's a Texas boy, he's a Longhorn. Um, I don't know because they didn't spend a premium draft pick on him.
True.
It ain't like they spent a first or a second round pick, and it's like we gotta fit him into the scheme. We got to get him on this roster. But there's just something is just telling me that they are laser focused on making the running back two position his job.
I want to agree with you, True, but that's not entirely true. He did play special teams as a gunner, and he laid some hellacious hits. Malik Davis has laid some hellacious hits on I think it was punt return and kickoff. He does play teams. Does he do it at an alarming clip? No, but he does play special teams.
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna see his name pop off the screen on every punt and every
No,
kickoff? No, probably not. But he is there. He can make tackles. He's played special teams before. But is this something that Jadon Blue can do? Jadon Blue is the faster of the two guys.
true.
I believe I believe that Malik Davis has a better mind for the football field than Jadon Blue does. Exploiting gaps and things like that, just normal intangibles for a running back. But I think it's that speed that's so attractive
Mm.
to the Dallas Cowboys that they're like, man, we got to get him acclimated to the system. We just got to, because if he can get the ball into space, it's a wrap. It's a house call.
Yeah, definitely a change of pace. I'm not arguing
Mhm.
that. But just watching how Malik Davis just like even though it was limited, he's like again almost every time he touched the ball was a house call. The Thanksgiving he
Mhm.
squeaks through and it's a house call, 43 yards. The Giants game, shit. there's several games where he had that type of production. And now, did we use him in a manner like when after Javonte ran for 66 against the Jets? We didn't get to see Malik Davis because they wanted to keep running with Javonte, and he was doing a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there were games where it was needed. You got Malik Davis or you got Javonte Williams taking a lot of punishment, pass pro and all that. So I mean, you got to change it up at some point. And just those games where I saw him, make a play, they weren't just 4 or 5 yards. No, it was 15, 20 in a cloud of dust. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like he was out. So that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anybody else's opinion is invalid. You know what I'm saying? It's just my opinion from what I've seen. So
Absolutely.
shit, you guys
Absolutely.
might be right. It might be Jadon Blue. Shit, it might be Phil Moffa's spot to lose. You know what I'm saying? Might even be Israel Bonaconda's spot to lose. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? That's why we're here. That's why we're here at this very moment. We're here at training camp to actually get all the questions that we have answered. And right now, yeah, we're still speculating to an extent, but these questions will be answered. They will be answered.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing of training camp starting. It's like all these questions that we got in our heads, whether it's the offense or the defensive side of the ball, you are going to get your answers within the next few weeks.
For sure. For sure.
We are shoot. Yesterday was a month away from the last preseason game. The only reason why I know that because it falls on my birthday.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Heard that.
So Cowboys, even if it's a preseason on my birthday, give me a dub. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro. Don't you worry. My birthday ain't until October, so I ain't worried about all that.
Hey, they didn't give us a dub in October too.
I'm a Michael Myers baby.
Hey man, that when you grow up, Christmas is the season. But when you're grown, I don't know. It turns to more Halloween.
Yeah, yeah. I dread October 31st because I know the very next day she's going to start watching Hallmark Christmas movies, and that's just going to piss me off because it's all the same damn plot. All of it. Girl moves to Wintertown and then finds love and they get married happily ever after. Poppycock. Give me a good horror film. You know what I'm saying?
The female's a reporter. She goes to Wintertown, USA, and falls in love with the painter of her house.
You know what I'm saying? Like what the shit?
Like, my wife's like that too. Shout out to my wife. But I tell you, after Halloween, when can we put the tree up?
We probably do that October 29th. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. And we got like 5 trees. So the kids get a tree. Yeah, the kids get a tree in their room. We got a tree for upstairs in our room. Then we got a tree for down here in the den. Then we got a tree for the living room. Like, bruh, come on.
You know what? One and done.
Like, look, listen here. Like, if you're gonna wait till I go to work, because like she's meticulous. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to get in her way.
Yeah.
According to her, I'm a bull in a china shop. So I try not to get in her way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I'll leave and I'll bring stuff up. But by the time I come home, it's a fucking winter wonderland in this joint.
Same, bro. Like, I'm like, you go ahead and handle that. Whether whether it's going to the store or whatever. She don't take me to the store because she just get tired of looking at the watch and like go to the car.
This is why I take my headphones. This is exactly why I take my headphones, bro. Like, because I know, babe, are we gonna go shopping? Shit. All right, no problem. Let me get my headphones. Like, because it's like that's the difference between women and men. Shout out to all the ladies in the chat. Shout out to all the ladies across the world. You know what I mean, you women, boy. You women.
Shout out to Ruby Sweet.
You know what I'm saying? When us guys go to a store, we go with a plan. We know what we want. We're gonna get it, and we're out of here.
And we gone.
Y'all go with a list, and you deviate from it every time. What is your deal? Like, what is your deal? Like,
Like
explain that one to me, ladies. Why do y'all deviate from the list that you create? A very meticulous list. You know what I'm saying? But you deviate from it every time. Why?
I know, like when we hit the store, I go right all the way to the right because I know we're gonna go down every single aisle.
Bro, every fucking aisle. Even the toilet, like the toiletry aisle, when we already have that stuff. We already have it. We have paper towels. We got enough toilet paper. We got the dish detergent, all, you know what I mean, dishwasher fluid, all that good stuff. But we still go down that damn aisle. Why?
Yeah, I just think, like, you know, guys, they be on a mission to go in there like, okay, I need bread, I'm getting bread, forget all that. The ladies go in, you know, with that nurturing type of mentality, and they're like, what does the house need? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, it's weird. All right. It's weird. I'll give her like 300. Like, yeah. All right. If you're gonna go online and order anything, order what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you want? I don't care. Order what you need. Like, but don't you want some? I don't care. Order what you need. I'm going to get the things that I need. Order what you need. If we need stuff in that, have at it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Like when I go into Walmart, there's one place that I go first and foremost, and she don't ever go to it.
The toy section.
The toy section. Hell no.
I go to the toy section. I'm sorry, like, because I got kids. I got
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your kid's grown, so we go to the toy aisle when we got the grandkids. So my kids are grown, but my number one spot is electronics, and she will refrain from going to electronics. So I'm like, oh yeah, you got shopping to do. I'll be in electronics. Text me when you ready to go, because I don't want to be a deterrent.
For sure.
But anyway, we talking about grocery shopping.
Get back to Cowboys football talk. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys in the chat? What are y'all looking forward to? What questions do you guys have that you want answered? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just about us, it's about y'all too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, I mean, of course I want to see what that I firmly believe that, unfortunately for Mr. Milton, he's going to be an emergency third. Or not here, because Sam Howell does have the intangibles.
Yep.
And to play the position. He understands the position. Granted, he's looked at as a journeyman, but he understands the position. So
Baker Mayfield was considered a journeyman until he found his team.
This is true.
This is true. Justin said, y'all's Walmart got Cowboy stuff. I'm gonna tell you this. No. My Walmart has New England Patriots, Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics. When my wife and I went down to Arlington, and because bro, the stadium is right here. Across the street is Walmart. So you go into that Walmart, it's like you go to the sports section or whatever. It is Dallas Cowboys jerseys, shirts, jackets, hats, keychains. Like, man, I walked in that thing. I was like, I am in heaven. What is all this stuff?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in Pigeon Land, so we already know what I see around here: Phillies, Flyers, Pigeons. You know, and now I'm going to see a bunch of LeBum James stuff. Like, I'm not in the mood for it. So, fortunately for me, I can easily just go on my phone and do some online shopping, which I'm not very good at. I don't know how. I'm not good at online shopping. But
I can't do online shopping anymore, man. Every time I buy something, I ended up buying my Mama to Michael DVD. Next day, I got to shut down my card because somebody from Amazon tried to get $150 from me. Like, dang, man, this is the second debit card that I've had to have in the past 2 weeks.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell, man? Can we get some security on this thing or something? Shoot,
for sure. Like, You got time for that crap. Listen here. Like, yeah, when it comes to online shopping, I try not to. I'll have her do it because she does the Amazon and all that. So with the Prime and Optimus and all that good stuff. Yeah, here you go. I need this and that. Like, you know what I mean? Let me see.
Optimus Prime.
Good.
Oh no, I was saying the Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Let me see. I mean, when it comes to training camp, like if we look at what Jerry was speaking on yesterday, believe it or not, it really wasn't much. It really wasn't much. I think Jerry is just looking at his mortality in its face. You know what I'm saying? And it's to a point where he's like, it's not about me. Like, yeah, I know I had a tendency to stir the pot and like, yeah, but we didn't hear nothing from you. Why? Because I understand now at this juncture in my journey that I gotta shut the fuck up. So that's what he's done.
What'd he say? What'd he say to Clarence Hill? You know, shout out to Clarence Hill. What'd he say to him?
He said, "No, he said I didn't leave."
Yeah, he said,
we just ain't been looking at each other. Like, we just ain't have to look at each other.
Yeah, and he paused with that too. He was like, Clarence, I ain't never left. Like, oh, get him, Jerry.
Like, and that's the refreshing thing. Like, so before we knew when they were taking their vacations. You know what I'm saying? We like Cowboys Nation knew when they were taking their vacations. I didn't hear anything about a vacation. I think they honestly, and Jerry told you yesterday, I ain't never leave. I've been in the building. I've been around. You just haven't seen me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like,
oh boy.
They've been in the background, and that's what I'm talking about. But go ahead. You said the oh boy.
Oh boy. So I got somebody here who would like to talk to Cowboy Nation that I've been dying to talk to for a while now. Mr. RJ Ochoa. What's the deal, brother? What's the deal?
How goes it, guys? Happy hump day. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. My bad on the time. Me and time zones aren't friends. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's okay. I actually, it was not to call you out, but I thought like he asked me what time zone I was in. So I was kind of confused in my own mind. I was like, did I say something wrong or whatever? So
no.
But
when I saw CT, I thought Connecticut. Okay, so he's in the eastern zone, but no, Central. My bad.
That's fair. No worries. You're good.
You know what I mean? So as you can see, I got my guy, the Angry Cowboys fan here. And I am, of course, your boy, Hoody Kush from Kush and the Cowboy Smoke Hour. Everybody sees my guy, Mr. RJ Ochoa. I've been actually looking forward to having a chat with you for a long time. I love your content. You do great work. Definitely engaging. Of course, you see me comment on your stuff on X at length. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely happy to have you. Stoked.
Well, thank you for having me. Very kind of you to say. I'm so blessed and fortunate to do what I do. I mean, I just get to be a professional fan, and it's awesome to talk to other fans and be a part of our feelings all together. And this is the best time of year for it. It's getting, I mean, I felt like about a month ago, like, man, it got here pretty quickly, but now these last few days are just going so slow. I'm just like, man, I'm ready for the preseason to start. I'm ready to start smoking some pulled porks on some weekends, watch some college football, things like that. So we're inching our way there at the very least.
You just spoke to the inner fat man in me when you said smoking pulled pork, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna make me get a smoker now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It changed my life. I know we're not here to talk about that, but I'm very happy to do so. I got a pellet grill, and I know people have their thoughts and opinions on it, but it's improved my life to say the least.
Nice.
Absolutely. My wife got a pellet grill too, man. When cooking ribs and that thing, oh my goodness, they fall off the bone when they come out, man. It's crazy.
Totally.
But RJ, man, I watched the interview with you and Zach Walchuk on Loving the Star, and you guys were discussing a little bit about your backstory when it comes to your decision in covering the Dallas Cowboys. A direct quote that you had, "My job is to make life about the Cowboys." Do you find it difficult separating your job from your fandom?
I think that's a very fair question. I don't. I think that would be a very hard question to answer 10, 15 years ago. I'm, again, inordinately blessed. I mean, God has blessed my life, a million times over. But I don't work for a traditional media outlet. I don't work for a newspaper. I don't work for a place where you have to walk a finer line. I've definitely been in some situations like that professionally, and I consider myself a professional, obviously, and you're respectful of boundaries and guidelines that exist in different circumstances and different situations. But for the most part, I feel like I've just landed in a spot and in a job and in a profession, specifically to me, where being a fan is kind of my superpower. Being a Dallas Cowboys fan molds the things that I'm able to do or see or analyze or assess. Not to say that my opinion is more valuable or whatever than anybody else's, but if I weren't a Dallas Cowboys fan, I quite literally wouldn't have this job. And so that's sort of what makes what we do at SB Nation unique. And there are a number of ways to skin a cat, obviously, and there's more than value in standard, objective, traditional journalism. But I would argue that we are objective, right? Like we cater to Dallas Cowboys fans, and so we tell you things that you need to know from a Cowboys slant and with a Cowboys narrative or hook involved. But it is still the truth. It is still fundamentally objective journalism, and so I think for me individually, it is my greatest strength, and so I lean into that, not in the we them boys sort of way, but in the way that helps me. This is my world, but we are a part of an overall solar system and an overall galaxy, if that makes sense.
True indeed. What got you started? What was the catalyst to jumpstart your career?
I moved to San Antonio in 2013 and was just really lost in life. I had been an engineering major early in college, and my dad's an engineer, and so just kind of felt like I have to do that. And it just wasn't for me. And so I just knew that I liked talking about the Cowboys as like wide-eyed of a thing as that was really all I could. When someone asked me that question at that point in time, like, what do you want to do? That's all I could say, right? Is like, I really like the Cowboys. And like everybody, I was in fantasy football leagues, and I started writing these emails, to my league and describing what happened. And, they're my friends and my family, but they enjoyed them. And so they kind of look forward to them. And that, kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. Like maybe I have an ability to tell stories or however you want to look at it, be funny, be witty, be clever. And when I was living in San Antonio, I would say, first of all, I met my wife, and she has been my sort of foundation for everything in my life and really helped me kind of get everything in order. But I started working at a Dallas Cowboys pro shop. And for anyone who doesn't know, these are retail stores, and they're exclusively Dallas Cowboys merchandise, much like what you guys have behind you. And so that gave me some professional experience in the workforce, I guess, and helped me kind of grow up a little bit. And at the same time, I almost got too lost in it. I almost got too invested in that career trajectory. And it wasn't until my wife said, don't forget how, what brought you. Don't forget why you got into this in the first place. And so I reached out to a blog, Inside the Star, and started writing for them. And at the time, we had launched a podcast. Bobby Bell, who's a good friend of mine, was starting that up. It was called Cowboys Cast at the time. I told Bobby, I said, hey, man, anytime you want someone to kind of chop it up with, I would love to do that with you. So started just kind of doing everything I could, podcasting and writing. And I would say the catalyst was a local sports radio station in San Antonio 10 years ago in 2016. Had an open mic competition. They called it Rock the Mic. And it was just a very standard go give your sports take thing. And again, God working in my life, I happened to win that. And not only did I happen to win that, but they had two normal shows at the time on the station. And that was Dak and Zeke's rookie year. And obviously, the Cowboys were very successful, and they needed somebody to just talk about the Cowboys all the time. And there was always someone from their regular shows who had a dentist appointment or had to pick up their kid from school or something. So they needed somebody, and I would work for free. I recognize not everybody is in that sort of position. And I'm so blessed to have my wife and my parents who were supporting me at the time. But that really turned into a lot of opportunities for me. They would have Jason Garrett on every Monday. I would get to interview him and kind of learn from the people at the radio station. And later that year, the Super Bowl was in Houston. That was the 28-3 comeback. And they told me, hey, look, we can't pay for you to do anything here, but we can get your credential. We can use your hands. And I had family in Houston, so I made the drive myself. I crashed with my family and got to see and learn and just absorb a lot of things. And so I would say that whole experience was certainly catalytic for me, but it also taught me to say yes to everything. And a few years later, I started doing high school stats for them. They would call high school football games on Friday nights, and I would do color commentary, and all at the same time was just being active on the internet, talking to other people like you guys, about the Cowboys, and picking up Twitter followers and things like that. Eventually came over to Blogging the Boys as a part-time contractor. And then in the spring of 2018, a full-time role opened up, and I'd had enough, kind of skins on the wall myself and enough professional experience that it all kind of was the stars lining up for me. And I've spent the last 8 years just trying to be 1% better every day, as much as a cliche as that is.
Not too cliche, because I find myself in that same range. I'm trying to be that 1% better at what I'm doing now. I have a regular job. I got 6 kids to take care of, house, all that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, my wife is instrumental in the things that I do as well. Being in Jersey, I understand that there's hurdles. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody faces them. And there's things that I would love to be able to have a similar type of start that you had. It's only hard because I have my own priorities. What would you tell someone in, say, my position, who has their priorities but still wants to move forward in this space?
Well, I would say I was a single person at the time. I mean, I had my wife. We were dating, but we weren't married, and so that becomes a different responsibility, right? When you're a husband and all of a sudden a caretaker, and I wasn't a father, obviously. We now have a 4-year-old, and so that has changed even how I work now, right? Like now, when he gets home from school, that time is his, right? Like before, it used to just be mine and able to do a lot of things, but he depends on me and he depends on us, and so I fully get. I don't have 6 children. I'm certain that's a hectic thing. So I would say first of all the feelings that you have are not only fair, but they're normal and they're understandable. It's fair to have some sort of, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but imposter syndrome or identity crisis or just frustration or longing for this, that, or the other. You see people who you like or whatever online, and you feel like, man, I know I have the talent. I know I have the chops. I know I can do that. Why isn't that happening for me? Why aren't those breaks happening for me? And so I guess what I would say is your path will be completely different than anybody else's. That's also a cliche, but it is incredibly true. And I was living in San Antonio, and I don't live in Dallas now. I've never lived in Dallas. I live in South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley and cover the Cowboys every single day. And COVID certainly amplified our technological capabilities as a society in a different way. But my job was remote even before COVID. Many of us at SB Nation have worked remotely for forever. We have someone who covers the Patriots who lives in Austria. I mean, just as an example.
Wow.
And so to that point, I would say, like, the things that you feel, because we're all human and we all have insecurities, the things you feel that are your insecurities, those are your strengths. Those are your unique qualities. The fact that you're a father and you have 6 children and you have your husbandly duties and you have your household duties, like, dude, like, I mean, when the 3 of us are talking here, we get that, right? Like, we all understand that. Like, you're the Cowboys dad, you're the Cowboys husband. Like, these are things that like no one needs you breaking down the 6th OTA practice in a way that is unique in that sense. They want to connect with the dad who, like, man, I just had 30 minutes or I had 5 minutes right now to record this video because I had to clean out the gutters, or, I got to go clean out the pit boss because we're going to smoke some ribs this weekend, right? Like, everyone understands that. And so I would say, like, first of all, you want to harness those things. You want to value those things that make you unique. And I would say that, look, the fact that you guys are off the ground with this show, like, I would do shows, I would do live shows. This was in a world before places like StreamYard and stuff that make it so much easier. I would have to have Facebook Live on my computer, and I would have what was Periscope at the time on my iPad, and I would have YouTube Live on my phone, and I would try to, like, angle all these things so I could be looking in the same camera and trying to read the comments from different places all at once. And the sound quality was horrible. Like, it wasn't any sort of professional microphone. And so podcasting and writing and newsletters and social media even have come such a long way in even the 10 years that I've been in this role professionally. So much so that I don't even personally do shows like this anymore. Now I just shoot vertically for Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and things like that, because I feel like we all look at this and say, like, okay, it's time for the show, it's time for the game, and it's time to lock in. And I guess going back to what I started with, like, the show is all the time. The show is literally your life. The show is just simply what you're letting people see. So, like, I view the show for me as the clip I post now. But the clip I post now is maybe something you're not going to watch till you're in the bathroom later, or you're waiting in line at the DMV later, right? Like we're so much more online and on the internet perpetually than we were even just a decade ago, that this content can find people in a number of different ways. And you guys have already, bridged that gap in a significant way. And so it sounds arduous and it sounds frustrating to say, like, keep going. But for all the tweets or videos or whatever I've had that have gone viral or done well, I can promise you I have 500 others for each one that have fallen flat and that nobody has cared. Like, that work has to be done. Like, you're never just going to go smash homer after homer after homer. You're not even going to get on base every time, right? Like, but you've got to go, take your swings and take your pitches and then go back to the dugout and go play defense as well. It's all part of the overall ecosystem that is online creation nowadays.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
Bro, that was jewels, boy. I love it. RJ, I heard something about a contest, a Twitter contest called Retweet This. What was that about? How you won a contest on Twitter? Retweet This. What was that?
Yeah, I think I told Zach about that. So this actually happened before I even was professionally involved, and it was a tweet from the Cowboys official account, and it was like, we're gonna pick 5 people who retweet this to win a Walt Garrison signed photo. And so I just retweeted it, right? Like we've all retweeted those types of things like a million times, and I was one of the 5, and Shannon Gross, who I don't know what his official title was, to be honest with you, but for lack of knowing, was like the director of social media for the Cowboys at the time. And so he personally followed me to DM me to get my address to ship me my prize that I'd won. And so we just kind of remained Twitter friends as a result of that. And I happened to be in Dallas in 2011-ish. And I had seen through our just kind of Twitter friendship, whatever, just following him, I'd seen him post things like, just had a beer with a follower. Like, these are the early days of Twitter where, like, that type of stuff was really rare. And it was really cool to see like real life connect like that. And so I just kind of sensed that he had this willingness to do stuff like that. So I happened to be in Dallas because I was at the time attending the Texas A&M in College Station. And so I just on a whim DM'd him and was like, hey, I'm in Dallas. Like, you want to get a beer? I was also like 22. So like getting a beer was like the biggest deal in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he said, so we went and had lunch, and he just told me a lot about his life, like a lot about his job, and which was very new. He told me about they had just drafted Mo Claiborne, and he told me like how exciting that was when they traded up and all that stuff. And so it was just very cool to learn from him. And I didn't realize it then, but that was maybe the catalyst that I didn't recognize. That kind of got my wheels turning. And just like I said, when I thought like I just really like the Cowboys, I just knew I wanted to do something like Shane. I just wanted to work in a way that he worked. I just wanted to be in the same space as him. So that was, I mean, again, I've had all these lucky, fortunate retweeting random things happen to me. And I believe that, for me, my faith is a big part of my life. I know everyone believes their own different things, but so if you don't believe in divine intervention or anything like that, I'm not saying that that's been everything that's happened in my life, but I feel like we put ourselves in positions to capitalize on things in life. Like, you want to be ready when your number's called, whenever fate does smile upon you, whenever there is divine intervention. And I've just always worked hard to be ready to, jump at those moments whenever they do happen.
And I will say this real quick. Now you're in that position to where you have individuals like myself, like Hoody Kush, that's looking up to you and picking your brain and, virtually going to lunch with you, to start that journey. And I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
It's not a beer. It's Dr. Pepper, but
Hey, well, mine is coffee. And to be honest, I think that we live in a time now where whatever your fix is for how you consume your Cowboys content, there are so many people who are accessible. For me, it was Shannon Gross at the time. But if you're a Cowboys YouTuber, you've got Law Nation, you've got Skywalker Still, you've got Votch, you've got a million different people. I mean, I'm forgetting tons and tons of people, but there are so many people. If Twitter's your thing, there are a billion people on Twitter who love to talk about the Cowboys. If Instagram is your thing, if TikTok is your thing, like there are people up and down the ladder, every single place you go, wherever like is home for you, whatever like social platform or social place you like the most, or wherever you feel like you could have success there, there's someone, and we're fortunate as Cowboys fans that the community at large is pretty friendly. You know, sometimes things get a little tense with different subjects or whatever, but most people, I think, are willing to lend a helping hand. And I think, you know, I wouldn't have had the success I've had. Blogging the Boys wouldn't have had the success that we've had if not for other people in the community. And so I think early in my career, I definitely was guilty of being protective and being, I'll say, narcissistic. And I was wrong in a lot of ways. And I think that that's an important lesson to learn, is that there's enough internet for us all to eat, right? Like you get so selfish and you get so just like, no, like we have to be the best, and they're doing it wrong, and we want to fight, we want to attack. But like, dude, like, you can 100% disagree with somebody else. And guess what? There's enough room for them to have their legion, their hive, whatever, and you can have your own. And everyone can live at peace. We can all just deal with, you know, having our own spots and wishing each other the best at the same time.
I'm more of the type that I'm a people person. I like working with people. I like meeting new people. Like you said, our technology has come a long way. You know what I'm saying? Just from 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to meet people from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we're all Cowboys fans, what is it? The Can fans, you know, out there in Canada.
They're great.
I think they're awesome. You got Paul and the guys out in Ireland, you know what I'm saying, in the UK. I think they're awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Last season, I kind of discouraged myself trying it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get the traction that I wanted. I wanted microwavable traction. You know what I'm saying? But then I had guys like Angry. I had guys like CFT, Vach, Law, you know, continuously pouring into me, giving me that confidence. I understand we all believe different things. I believe that faith is real. Okay, I believe in my faith that it's real. So divine intervention definitely took place for me to even. This is small, you know what I'm saying, but it's mine. You know what I'm saying? God gave me an opportunity to be able to bring my thoughts, my purview to other Cowboys fans, and I definitely understand what you're talking about. I couldn't ask for anything else, honestly. This has been huge just for me, and to be able to talk to guys like you, Zach Walchuk, you know, that it gives me a sense of validation. Like, yeah, I'm walking the right path. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just say I appreciate you watching your content for the past few years. You know what I'm saying? Getting to know you on the screen, not necessarily in person, but getting to know you on the screen, bro. You're very knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? You have the right mentality. And if I could emulate anything, that would be it.
I appreciate it. And my only disagreement is I would not say you're small. I would not put yourself in a box like that. Like, I mean, like, at some point, this was just like a thought in your head, right? At some point, it was like, oh man, like, it would be cool to do this. Like, I don't know who the first, like, maybe it was Law, maybe it was Zach, maybe it was whoever. Like, dude, you were like, I would like to do that. And dude, like, think about like how many different things you've had to overcome to like be right here, right? Like, I understand there are goals and there are benchmarks and things you want to do, more things you want to accomplish and things you want to clear, et cetera, et cetera. But like, you had to set up a million different things. You had to get different equipment. You had to set up your background. You guys had to coordinate. We had to coordinate times. We had a little bit of a bump in the road with the time zone situation, whatever. We don't have to talk about that. But like think about like how many things have had to happen, and not even just like fortuitous things, but how many things you guys had to make happen to make this happen. Like that in and of itself, for every content creator, or however you want to label things, there are also like tons and tons and tons of people who don't do it, who won't do it. Not to shame them or whatever, but like there are just people who think about that, who text their buddy and say, we should do this, we should start a podcast, whatever, and then just ultimately don't. And so I love Survivor. It's like kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. And there's a longtime player, her name is Sari. And her whole thing is one day she just decided to apply and she got off the couch. She describes herself. She was a little lazy in life and whatever. And like you guys got off the couch. Like you got off the couch to start doing this. And again, I recognize there are people who you want to emulate. You want to do things. You want to have as many followers, just subscribers, and God willing, you get there and beyond. But you're not small. Like you've already outgrown what was small. And that's an important thing to kind of keep it as your heartbeat, in my humble opinion.
No, I appreciate that, bro. Like, again, sense of validation. I'm not saying small as in, you know, no. 6'4", 280. I have a booming voice. I have a boisterous personality. Of course, there's stepping stones. Of course,
Sure.
there's growth to be had, and just starting, getting into the swing of things. I've come a long way since I finally bought my computer. I've come a long way since the first video. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to do things that I didn't know how to do. What that kind of psyched me out a little bit. So
Yeah.
you're 100% correct. I'm not small, you know what I'm saying? But there's growth. There's growth to be had. So I'm not slowing down.
Hell
I don't
yeah, I
wanna
love
slow
that.
down.
I mean, and like, there's no, maybe this is the last like thing I kind of have that I feel like is important. Like I chased being certain people for a while. I chased writing like certain people, or sounding like certain people, or reaching certain numbers or certain followers or whatever. And I do think goals are a good thing, right? Like certainly. But I think what really finally freed me was, and I recognize people have different responsibilities, like we talked about, like fatherhood and being a husband and household duties and whatnot. And that changes, the necessity of goals, obviously, for people. But what really liberated me was just like, man, I'm just gonna like do it my way. And there, will be people who do not like that, and that's okay. I've been blocked by a lot of people on Twitter. Like and that used to bother me for a long time. And I would be lying if I said it, if I find someone that blocked me, it didn't still like be like, man, what the heck? Like, but I'm just not for everyone, right? Like I don't like everyone. I don't like every style of content. And you
Right.
just like that's that's okay, right? Like it's okay if someone is not your cup of tea, if I'm not someone's cup of tea. And so and that's not to say like my cup will definitely be loved by these people or whatever. It may not be loved by anyone. My wife and son may be the only two who truly do love it. But I would rather live and operate that way than chase being something that isn't true or authentic to me. I know,
Exactly.
again, these all sound like cliches and stuff too, but be your own self, be Hoody Kush, be angry, be, you know what I mean? Like be y'all's selves, because there's no one else doing it that way. You know what I mean? There are people doing it my way or whatever way, but like there's no one doing it y'all's way.
Yeah, I kind of gave my son-in-law this advice, and you kind of seen it with Caleb Downs whenever he was coming to the facility and somebody said, "Hey, you're gonna be the next Ed Reed." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna be the first Caleb Downs."
Yeah.
So my advice is kind of stop trying to be somebody and be somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's where I'm at with it. Is like I understand who I am. I don't understand who CFT is. I don't understand who Angry is. I don't understand who RJ Ochoa is, even though we're getting to know each other right now.
Right.
But I know who I am, and who I am is I'm Hoody Kush.
That's a big step to me. I heard a sermon that really changed my life in general, and it was about there was a ladder that the pastor used, and he talked about how in life we have to do the possible, right? Like you have to climb the ladder. There are things that are within our control. Like, again, not to get too into faith and whatnot, people have different beliefs, but there are people who seem to believe that God will just like wave his magic wand and do everything in your life, and God will certainly work in your life, but you have to do your part, right? And so this whole sermon was about like, you got to climb this ladder. You got to do that part. You got to do the possible so that God can suddenly do the impossible. There is certainly that gap, that there is the impossible that only God can do, as I believe and others believe, obviously. Yeah. But you have to do your part to get there. You can't just stay here and expect God to do the possible. Like there are things within your control. And so the within your control is identifying who you are, establishing who you are, being comfortable who you are, starting your show, doing this, requesting people to be online in interviews, pushing it, sharing it, reaching out, doing more, hustling, grinding, however you want to put it. And if you do those things, then I do believe that the impossible opportunities suddenly meet you because you've done your part to get there.
Indeed.
How do people block you, RJ? I just don't get it. I
can be annoying. You know what I mean? I can say some silly things. I'm okay admitting that, but I appreciate that compliment.
All right, I'm gonna try to hammer in a few camp questions, man. So we finally gotten to this point. So what are your thoughts on the defense? Not specifically the players, the coaches.
I I watched Christian Parker on Peter Schrager's podcast yesterday while I was folding laundry, and it was super cool to see him in a different type of setting that wasn't like a press conference. It was still a professional interview, obviously, but man, I have been very critical of the Cowboys for the last 2 years. I think that's why a lot of people have blocked me, to answer your question, Angry. And I felt like they intentionally were so toxic and were so just like, messy. And so I feel like defensively, there has been behavior of an adult variety for the first time in over 2 years. That in and of itself raises the floor, right? Like, okay, cool. You have I don't know who we think the three best defenders on the team are, right? I would say we probably think Quinnen Williams, Caleb Downs, and pick your third, right? Even if you think the third is DeMarvion Overshown or Deron Bland. Two of the three were not on this team this time a year ago, right? Quinnen arrived at the trade deadline, obviously, but he was not on the team this time a year ago. So you're talking about you've got adult behavior happening now. The best players now are brand new. We're not a part of things. The person who you trust the most was certainly not on the team this time a year ago because now it's Christian Parker. So, I mean, all those beyond all of that, just mathematically, there is regression to the mean. And regression to the mean happens in the other direction too. That's why I'm just a little bit worried that the offense won't be like as on fire as it was last year, just because you always kind of come back down to equilibrium. So I expect the defense to just, by nature of mathematical odds, be better this year. And so I expect, just standard operating procedure, which has not been the case for a long time. And so if you get elite play, if you get Caleb Downs, obviously becoming the first Caleb Downs, if you get Quinnen Williams, if you get all these other things that add on and make the overall picture all the more impressive, then I don't know that I think they could be like a top 5 group or anything, but I think they'll be, the 14th to 18th best defense in the NFL on your average Sunday.
Okay.
Now, speaking of the defense, I hate to go into revisionist history and everything, but looking back at the 2025 season, where do you contribute the fall off? Was it more talent, or was it more coaching and scheme, or was it a mixture of both?
I was my dogs we have an insect guy here spraying the outside of the house. So they're pissed. They're really tiny dogs, so they like to overcompensate. So apologies, but I was a big fan of the Matt Eberflus hire. I have zero problem admitting that. I thought he was fantastic, and his first stint with the Cowboys was critical in the development and growth of Sean Lee. I think he does not get enough credit for how things went in Indianapolis because he joined the Josh McDaniels staff that Josh McDaniels abandoned to go back to New England, obviously. It did not go well. Like, obviously, that is, how it all ended. But I would offer this man was really set up to fail. I mean, in the sense that he had to join a head coach who, was sort of like weirdly given the job. I know we're all like super high on Shoddy now, but like that doesn't mean the way it started wasn't very weird and clunky and toxic and broken. So he had to join the staff in a very weird way. And okay, here, Matt Eberflus, welcome home. We already got you in the like HR system and whatnot from your last stint with the team. Your best player is Micah Parsons. He's not going to be here at all. But don't worry. Like the Dak CD things, remember we got those done at the 11th hour. This will probably be just like that. Actually, just kidding. 7 days before the season begins, we're going to trade this man away after you've built, everything you have, obviously, upon that foundation, assuming that he's going to be a part of your overall team, overall operation, et cetera, et cetera. So that being said, I believe he was set up to fail, maybe not maliciously, maybe not intentionally, but he was not set up kindly the way that Christian Parker has. Like Christian Parker, it's like, man, this is the C-suite, bro. We got pastries, the fridge is full, like whatever you need, like it is the complete and total opposite. That being said, I do think that Matt Eberflus, somewhat respectfully, like I somewhat respect saying, you know what, I'm gonna go down Sinatra style. I'm gonna go down my way. But I think that Matt Eberflus was just at that point. Maybe he was, I don't know, upset, bothered, like that would be natural, right? To feel scorned by all that. But he did not change or adapt as things got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I think the Cowboys front office created the problem. I think he got a little petty, again, not to accuse anybody of anything, and that just made for an overall combination that wasn't great. I also think you could argue that the offense being so good hurt them. I mean, just truly. I mean, that's a weird thing to say, but it's like, man, in a weird way, if you're playing, I don't know, I think Minnesota is a good example. Like that team knows they have to be more aggressive to keep up with the offense. They've got to put up a ton of points. And so they're doing things that may not be normal or habitual for them because they know that Dak Prescott and CD and George are obviously going to put up points on the other side. So I think it was a really terrible gazpacho. But if I had to blame somebody, you have to blame Matt Eberflus, as big of a bummer as it is, because he was the man in charge.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. I'm firm on. That's my first question. Coaching. I'm definitely firm on coaching matters, but that does not absolve players because they're the ones who have to actually go out and produce. But so when we're looking at this coaching staff, moving on from 2025, when we're looking at this coaching staff, I'm not so much looking at Christian Parker because I know what he brings. Just from what he's done in the past, we know that he's a DB's coach. We know that's his bread and butter. What gives me more optimism is the Derek Ainsley, the Ryan Smith, the Marcus Dixon, Chidera Uzo-Deribe. That kind of gives me a little bit more optimism because it's like, all right, so Derek Ainsley and Ryan Smith are both cornerback coaches or secondaries coaches, and it's like you're hammering home secondary. Marcus Dixon, he's had a pretty damn good defensive line, even with Minnesota. We've seen that. So it's like you're hammering home the details. You know what I'm saying? Chidera, he's coming from I would think the standard of defenses in college football, I would think. So like bringing that in is like, yeah, there's a big change going on. It's definitely something that we're not used to, but to me, it gives me more optimism because it is so different.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. I think, we all love Dan Quinn up until the end. But I would say that maybe the best part of that whole run wasn't even Dan; it was Al Harris, right? Like you think about like how influential and how important these assistants are. I mean, you think about how critical he was in the development of Trayvon Diggs, obviously before everything got bad, and even Deron Bland, making Deron Bland work when Trayvon got hurt, and Stephon Gilmore's part of that, right? Like the veterans on the team, even to your point, like kind of coaches on the field type thing. No, I mean, and because at the end of the day, Christian Parker's just one man, right? Like it's an entire defense, and there are a million things to do. So he calls the defense, and he's the most important person certainly. But from a day-to-day standpoint, like who's the person that's in the weight room with these guys? Who's the one breaking down film? Who's the one cutting up the film? Who's the one who's implementing and installing all these things? Like the minutia of who makes up your staff is incredibly important in that sense. That's why I loved at least Matt Eberflus during his first stint when he was the linebackers coach before he was obviously defensive coordinator. So yeah, I mean, I would say my only reservation, if I have one, is that because there is so much unprovenness, like it's all brand new. Like I don't mean unproven. It's just, we just peeled the sticker off, right? Like let's see what this thing can do. We're driving this car off the lot type thing. But this cornerback room is pretty, it's a little shy. It's a little, tough. And so maybe the coaching helps that. Maybe Christian Parker helps that. You're right. He's a DB. That's his background. The analogy I've sort of landed on is like, I'm terrible at finishing video games. So I'm still playing Spider-Man 2. And so like, I don't know if you guys play video games or whatever, but like, yeah, in this game, you get certain suits and certain suits like boost certain attributes or whatever. Right. And so like maybe Christian Parker is the Spider-Man suit for DBs, right? Like maybe having Christian Parker just like improves your corners because he's Christian Parker, like whatever. Like that's just, not to take away from Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean or Patrick Surtain, but like there's a lot of data there that would seemingly, those are also, elite talents. But so there's a big difference between those guys and Kalen Carson type of thing. Yeah. But that being said, I think that the way we trust Christian Parker implicitly, I also trust that he picked this staff to be who he can't be in the moments that he's not available for X, Y, or Z.
That's where I'm at with it. Good. Angry, you got another question?
Absolutely. I'm going to switch from the cornerback room to the linebacker or the edge rusher in the 3-4. When it comes to Maurice Leofau, what's your take on Maurice Leofau? Do you see him making the 53-man roster, or is he one of those bubble players that you might see end up on the practice squad?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think if they're asking you to switch positions a little deep into your career, it's never a good thing. There's always exceptions, and there's always the person who manages to pull it off. But in the switch to the 3-4 opens up opportunity, and if you can rush the passer, if you can affect the passer, if you can, affect the pocket in any way, there's going to be a role for you. He flashed there was that game, that Carolina game, his rookie year, that we'll all always have the memories of. I just don't know. And I don't think it helps him that the defensive staff is not who brought him in, or like those. I don't want to lump it up to politics, but like those politics matter, right? Like, if it becomes a conversation, if it becomes a debate between, him or whoever. But I would say right now, I haven't made a 53-man roster prediction yet, and we'll start doing those after like this week and stuff. But I think right now I'd probably leave him off personally. I don't like, if you rank just the defense, if you rank the players on the defense and their importance, like, is he in your top like 15 or 20 most important players of the defense, with all due respect?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How I look at Marist, I think he has versatility. I mean, he's got that inside outside flex. Special teams matters, we all know. When we did see him on the field, he wasn't a bad product. I mean, did he have his slip ups, hiccups? Of course. There isn't a player in the league who doesn't have hiccups or slip ups every now and then. But I guess the edge room or outside linebacker room is so saturated that it's going to be kind of hard to evaluate everyone. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess my motto is I'm here to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what happens. So,
yeah, I mean, and position flexibility certainly carries you through a lot of things, and obviously what starts today is going to help provide some data to help justify or move against Marist or whoever, obviously, in a different capacity, and maybe he will prove to be valuable, right? Like, maybe he'll prove to be that guy for Christian Parker, right? Like, this is literally when they're going to figure those things out. So it is one of those things where I think you can see it going both ways, but I would put him in the box of dudes who sort of have to prove something in order to earn their spot, which is not necessarily the case for everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. Now I'm going to switch. Yes, sir. I got a couple more. I'll switch it over to the offensive side of the ball. When it comes to the position battle during training camp, how much of a shot would a player like Malik Davis have as opposed to, for the RB2 position, as opposed to Jadon Blue? Is it Jadon Blue's position to lose, or is it just wide open?
So I started my collegiate journey at Texas A&M when they were in the Big 12, and so I really hate the University of Texas. I ultimately graduated from Arizona State, and we lost the Peach Bowl to the University of Texas, so I really hate them. So it's difficult for me to put that bias aside, but I'll and I don't know if maybe truly, I know I'm joking, but I'm just not on the Jadon Blue train as much as most people. And I recognize, like, there is I don't think it's just like you're a Longhorn fan root for the Cowboys, but like they're a visible brand. Like people have seen a lot of his college games, or like that. It's different in college when you've got dudes coming from programs that you see often on TV, where their highlights are in your TikTok feed more often. But I would say that, I mean, he had a falling out with the coaching staff last season. Now it's a new year, new slate, all that matters, but like, it's not like it's a new coaching staff, right? Like that seems important. That seems like, okay, you clearly did something to lose some trust. Plus, I just have never felt like that type of back, not to generalize, can be your snap in, snap out guy, right? Like you've obviously got Javonte Williams, and this is a discussion about RB2, to be fair. But I just don't know that, like, we're asking you to be special every snap that you come in and take, and that's just so hard to do. We're asking you to be flashy and that guy, like, every single time, and it's very, very difficult. Like, we all loved Lance Dunbar, but like that was not who he was, like, every single time he touched the ball. It did happen time to time, and I don't mean to say he's that person, but I think Malik Davis also has the trust of the staff, and it's the same staff as last year. That matters. He's also a Florida Gator. I'm in a master's program at the University of Florida, so I'm definitely biased in that sense. But thank you. But if I have to pick like a horse in the race, I am definitely placing my fictional money on Phil Maffa. That to me is the ideal archetype of who I want to spell Javonte Williams. I threw it back to Lance Dunbar to throw it back to the late, great Marion Barber. He feels like that to me. Like when Mariano was first coming on, it was, when the Cowboys offense was rolling, obviously in the Tony Romo days, and you just needed that dude to salt the game away. And he was just perfect for that. And that's how I view Phil Moffitt. He's that fourth quarter guy, because you don't want this offense to be, unless you have to, obviously, but lighting things up in the fourth quarter if you don't fully trust your defense, right? You do want to be able to sustain some longer drives that go the length of the field. And Javante's human. He's going to have to rest, like we talked about. Or he might have a slip up or a human moment, a mortal moment. So I just think that the Phil Moffitt archetype is easier to trust. Plus, this is a team that's had some red zone issues, some goal line issues in the past, like that. I just trust that more. That's not to say that I don't think Jaden can have a spot on the team, right? Like maybe they do even carry 4 running backs. Maybe Hunter Lipke makes that conversation difficult. To me, the Jaden Blue debate is really more with Kevontae Turpin at this point. I like Kevontae Turpin. I don't really feel like adds much on offense. He hasn't added a ton on special teams really ever. That Washington game will be special. We'll always have that. But can Jaden Blue return punts and kicks? Because if so, now you have provided a value somewhere that is legitimate. Now you can touch the ball very often throughout a game. And if the drop off from Kevontae to you there isn't that significant, then certainly you have a spot on the team. And then, yeah, when it's third and long and we need a screen pass or something like that, maybe you can go make magic. But I would not bet on him to be RB2 for a variety of reasons. But I that's one of those things, like if I had to rank the things that I hope I'm wrong about, that's probably number 1. Because if he can be that guy, that will really add an entirely different element to the offense. And obviously that would benefit everybody.
Sure. I have one more question for you. This is going to be this question is somewhat of a game. It's true or false. There is a left tackle competition. True or false?
I'm going to say false because I think they know the answer. I think they're just, they're making their way there politically, right? Like you can't come out and say whatever it is. But they have their ideal answer at this point in time. It may not be Tyler Guyton though. I don't know. I mean, Shadi said what he did yesterday about Tyler Booker getting snaps at center and Tyler Smith getting snaps at left tackle. I'm not a fan of moving Tyler Smith to tackle. I don't know if you guys are. Okay, good.
I don't want my all-pro guard being my Pro Bowl tackle. No.
Yeah. Is it ideal that you have this problem at tackle in Tyler Guyton's third year? No. We can all admit this, but like you don't have to create 5 problems to fix that one. If you had moved Tyler Smith to tackle after his rookie year, after he replaced Tyron, great, but you couldn't let go of Tyron for understandable and obvious reasons. And so this is it. Like you're pot committed on Tyler Smith. You can't move him around. I don't know why you want to move Tyler Booker to center. Maybe you're just seeing what that world would be like if Cooper Beebe got hurt. I would be fine if they went Nate Thomas, I suppose. Like we're past the point where Tyler Guyton is the first round pick, right? Like he's just a guy now battling for a roster spot. And that's unfortunate and it sucks, but like you have to play the hand that you were dealt. But that's my opinion. I don't know. So I said false. What do you guys think?
I say false. I don't think there was ever a left tackle competition. I think it's Tyler Guyton's to lose anyway. For me, it's never been his ability. It's always been his availability. He hasn't been able to stay on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the only knock I give him. He hasn't been healthy the past 2 years. Now, of course, all that can change this year. All that you can change and put all that to bed. But if there was any consternation that I would have, it would just be that he's constantly injured. You know what I'm saying? But again, all that can change. How about you, Angry?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it's Tyler Guyton's to lose, but at the same time, I feel like Brian Schottenheimer put that out in the ether just to, give him a little boot in the butt, to say like, hey, we like you, we want you to be in this position, but we do have somebody behind you that's chomping at the heels. So let's see if you can make that jump, kind of like a manual jump start for him, as opposed to him going out there and getting into himself. Like Brian Schottenheimer kind of kicked him in his butt. So I feel it's his position to lose, but I am glad that Nate Thomas is right there on his heels for that position.
Yeah, and I would say like the Tyler Smith thing to me, if I'm Tyler Guyton, like that's not a real threat. Like if I'm Tyler Guyton and you're like, watch out, we're gonna move Tyler Smith. It's like, no, you're not. Like, let's be real. Like, you know what I mean? like y'all aren't dumb. You know what I mean? But like Nate Thomas, that's a real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drew Shelton would also not be a real thing just because he's a rookie, but like maybe long term that's a real thing. But I would say that was the first point. That was the first like, you know, maybe sit up in his chair type thing, because it's like, hey, dude, there's now like a left tackle option of the future, right? Like your 2027 is no longer promised, and your 2026 might be compromised by Nate Thomas. And it's after this, it's time to decide whether or not they want to pick up his 5th-year option. So it's like, are you going to be Mozzie Smith and Taco Charlton, or are you going to be everybody else? Because this is the fork in the road time.
Yeah, real talk.
And I got one more question, and I had to pick from 2.
Do them both. Why pick?
Okay.
Do them both.
Okay. All right. So the first question is, you know, Dak Prescott going into his 11th year as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Number of Cowboys fans, they think that Dak Prescott has been the reason for the failures of the Dallas Cowboys not making it over the hump. Do you believe Dak Prescott has what it takes to get the Cowboys to a championship and win?
I think that we have sometimes. I'm very pro Dak. I've always been in this camp. I have fought the good fight. I've got the scars to prove it. Like, I've been on the internet, you know, having these dumb arguments with people the same way you guys have. But I think sometimes in our natural tendency now to defend him, maybe we go a little bit overboard. Maybe we like just a teeny bit over romanticize. We make it like that he is infallible and he doesn't make a single mistake. And I don't know, but I would imagine that he would say he does make mistakes, right? Like, it's multiple things could be true. It could be true that like largely he has not been the issue, but that in some moments he could have been greater. And is it unfair to ask him to be greater than the Eagles have asked Jalen Hurts to be or whatever? Yes, of course it's unfair. We again, multiple things can all be true at the same time. But I absolutely believe. I think that this is sort of like a pass-fail proposition. If there's a line in the NFL, and if you have a quarterback of this talent, you have enough, like from that position, to be able to do this. It's a team game, though, and Dak is well above this line. I mean, like I would say the like low bar for that in the NFL is like Baker Mayfield. If your quarterback is even that good, you can win a championship. You can do it. You just have to have all the right things fall in place. And beyond the fact that I think Dak, you know, some of the playoff games haven't gone well. Some have been amazing. Again, multiple things. Coaching, all these issues. This is going to sound like coping and just like complaining and being a Cowboys fan, but like, man, they have not gotten the draw. Like they have not gotten the luck. And look, you make your own luck. We talked about that like personally, but I think about Jalen Hurts, and this is not meant to like shade the Eagles in any way. But that first Super Bowl run they had, they didn't win it obviously, but they were the 1 seed. They earned that. Okay, respect. But in the divisional round, they got the Daniel Jones Giants because they shocked the Vikings and beat them. Okay. Cool. And then in the title game, they got the 49ers, who literally didn't have a quarterback. I mean, in their other title game,
as the quarterback.
Yeah. In their other title game, they got the Commanders, who upset the Lions. They didn't even have to play the 1 seed. And again, like, not their fault. Like, you play who's in front of you, like, not to take away. They won that world championship. They deserve it. They earned it. They deserve all their respect and props. But my point is, like, okay, so if we have, but you can bag on the Cowboys for losing to the Packers kids that they lost to, that young team and Matt LaFleur and all that. Okay, respect. But outside of that, their playoff losses have been to the mighty San Francisco 49ers, who we all acknowledge are this, like, not dynasty, but have had this incredible run. And the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, so, for the most part, they just get, like, the bad draw. Like, they have not – so – people love to say, like, oh, what do they need? Can they make the championship game this year? It's like, okay, yeah, maybe they're the 1 seed and the like Michael Penix Falcons stumble their way there, and that's who they get. Like, or maybe the Rams are a wild card team, and like all of a sudden they've got to host the Rams. Like, you know, things just haven't gone their way. Again, I recognize that sounds like complaining and just like coping and grasping at straws, but it again, in a world where multiple things can be true, that is one of them, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I'm of the belief that there's 3 things that you need in order to win a championship: great coaching, good discipline, and a little bit of luck.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this last one, I want to ask you about Luke Schoonmaker.
For this one.
That's an interesting. That's like the swan song. Okay, good for Luke. I'm happy he's getting this kind of pop. Okay.
Every draft, the Dallas Cowboys have, you know, they've succeeded in the UDFA area. You know, last year was Trayshawn Holden, and this year is Michael Trigg. So this could be more of a Michael Trigg type of thing. Do you think Michael Trigg has what it takes to bump Luke Schoonmaker out of that tight end 2 position, tight end 3 position, and take it over this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. I know you said it could be a Michael Trigg thing. I think it's a Luke Schoonmaker thing, right? Like, what is? And these are difficult things to say out loud because these are human beings and they're more athletically talented than us, right? Like they're the 1% of their lives, and respect. Like you've made it this far. But that being said, like, what does he do that you can't live without? Like what is the thing that like Luke Schoonmaker offers that you're like, nope, I've got to have that. I need that on my 53 because I don't know what it is. Like, is he just another tight end? Like, is he just like a veteran tight end who you can sign and pick up off the street? Because yeah, you've got Jake Ferguson, you've got Brevin Spanford, you've obviously got Michael Trigg contending and competing. And this is like back to the Jaden Blue thing. Like, do I need to carry Kevontae Turpin? Can Jaden Blue do some of those things? Like, because Hunter Lipke's part of this kind of like general math. Obviously, he's not a tight end, but like now we're talking about players like down the roster who are playing special teams. Like I should not just like your thing in your 4th year as a 2nd round pick cannot be special teams. Like that it just cannot be that. And so if that's all you're offering and I can find that somewhere else, right? Like I can trim that fat. Not saying he's fat, but like, again, that's just that's the brass tacks of it all. So yeah, I mean, like the idea of Michael Trigg is more interesting, and he's got his own journey to work on, and we'll see. Like obviously, if he can put it all together, but like we threw it back to Lance Dunbar and to Marion Barber, but like I don't know that Dak was well enough capable to make Rico Gathers a thing when that happened. Like Dak wasn't who he is now. And so like now I fully trust Dak. Like Dak will totally make Michael Trigg like a tried and true part of the offense and capitalize on his special abilities. And Luke Schoonmaker just doesn't have them. Like it isn't like, think about the tight ends that Dak Prescott has made work. Like Peyton Hendershot was a thing because that's like how good at utilizing the position. All due respect to Peyton Hendershot. Yeah. I mean, like, so like, dude, like this guy can make just like lemonade with anything at tight end. You know what I mean? So like Luke Schoonmaker, what kind of lemons are you offering that like this can't happen here? So yeah, I mean, it's going to require obviously a rise and some performance through camp and through their preseason, but I would say right now Schoonmaker is like my 53rd, 54th player on a potential 53-man roster, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm not so much torn. I think I know the answer. It's kind of like the writings on the wall. I mean, last season you had Brevin Spanford, who was a UDFA, come in and literally take your spot. You know what I'm saying, halfway through the season, and now you have another UDFA coming in. Now we had Rivaldo Fairweather, we had John Stevens. Unfortunately, injuries derailed him. Rivaldo Fairweather, he could have done some magical things. Unfortunately, he was plucked off the practice squad. Well, now you have Michael Trigg, who's coming in with uber athleticism. But of course, there's things that he has to work on, blocking being one, mentality being another. But if another UDFA walks through these doors and is able to push him down further, like that's not so much hey Michael Trigg, you did it. It's more like Luke, what's going on?
Yeah,
I mean, and Luke is, from a draft pedigree standpoint, the most premium talent that Dak has ever had at the position. I mean, you could certainly argue Jason Witten to a different degree. It was unique. It was early in his career, but even then he was a 3rd round pick. Luke is a 2nd round pick. Dalton Schultz, 4th round pick. All the guys you mentioned, mostly UDFAs. You've got Jake Ferguson, 5th round pick. You've got leaving some Blake Jarwin, undrafted free agent, right? Like, so like you are,
I love
like,
Jarwin too.
Oh, dude. I mean, another one that like I mean, we'll always have that Giants game in the hat trick. That was great. But yeah, but like, dude, like it just, and like just even if ignoring all of that, last year was literally one of the most successful offensive seasons in franchise history. And you were not a remote part of it. You know what I mean? Like that's like, okay, dude, like that's a little strange. You know what I mean? And you know, even then I would say Jaden Blue wasn't a part of it, but Jaden has something special. It may not happen all the time, but we can see it being something that like does make something different out of all this. What is that? Like, it's his speed, right? But like, what is Luke Schoonmaker's like speed? What is his version of what Jaden Blue has? I don't know. I don't think it's really anything. And it's a little bit more difficult at tight end than at running back, but like, that's what I'm saying. I just, but Michael Trigg does, right? Like Michael Trigg's Michael Trigg's like specialness marries with the red zone deficiency, the red zone issues, right? Like this is a team that like that's their kryptonite, and he has like, he's immune to kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? And so like he all of a sudden provides something that they can use, and it just doesn't seem to be the case with Luke Schoonmaker.
I take it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna have to start wrapping this thing up. RJ, I really enjoyed having you. Like a very enlightening interview. Great nuggets, things that I can definitely go back and give me and Angry some thought-provoking conversation. Definitely would love to do this again. Let's do some last words, man. You got what do you got for us? Last words, man.
Oh man, last words are football season is just the best time of year. I mean, like truly, I once heard Twitter referred to as the greatest sports bar on earth because you just get to hang out and absorb what you want. And I've really just come to embrace that in all platforms, right? Like this is a time of year where like every day you have some sort of like football energy moving you in a certain direction, whether it's your fantasy team or your college team or your high school team or, whatever. And it all ultimately for us sickos and weirdos points to Sunday or Monday, whatever the day the Cowboys are playing. And like, this is it. Like this is the metronome to our lives for the next 6 or 7 months as the kids do. And so, I mean, like, that is such a cool thing. Like that is such a cool thing that we can all believe different things. We can all have different likes and wants and wishes and preferences and whatever. But like this is our common denominator. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really grateful. I'm really excited. I'm really happy. It's always the best time of year. The food we mentioned, the holidays that get woven into it. I mentioned my son is 4. He was born the night before Thanksgiving. And so sometimes his birthday falls, on it now, whatever. But like that just like, if you had asked me before his birth, like what the most stressful week of my life is professionally, it's Thanksgiving, just because of the quick turnaround and the fact that it's a holiday and I got smoked the turkey now and all this stuff. And so, of course, like, God would be like, well, your son's going to be born this week too. So you got to deal with all this. And like, that's how I feel about football season in general. It gets so busy. You got Halloween, you got the clocks falling back. I don't know if we're doing that anymore or whatever, right. But like, but my point is like, it is the most hectic time of the year in the best possible way. And so I'm just really excited to soak it all up and enjoy every second. I appreciate having good friends like you guys and hope that you all soak it up in your own ways as well.
Absolutely.
Angry?
My final word is, RJ, thank you. Thank you for coming on here and giving us your insight, letting us know a little bit more about you and how you have risen to the station that you are now. And I don't want to call the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop the bottom, but started from the bottom, now we're here. And I appreciate that. You're such an inspiration to people that do this, that, that want to get into whether it's a journalism field or just covering their favorite team. Doesn't have to be the Cowboys. We got Commanders and Eagles fans in here as well. But you are just a shining example of what we can be, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate the videos that you put out. I may clip some of them because you dropping jewels, so I gotta clip them. But thank you very much. I appreciate your time today, and I appreciate you in the chat, Cowboys Nation. Thank you all for being here for this.
Facts, man. Again, man, I can't thank you more. I can't express my gratitude for you even responding. Okay. But again, like you said, man, I consider you a friend. You're a friend of the show. You will be a friend of the show for a long time to come. And I'd like to think that we're going to be doing some more work together. So with that being said, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and anytime you want, I consider us all friends. You guys on the Christmas card list and all that jazz. So, but really appreciate it. And shout out to the Cowboys Pro Shop. I didn't want them to be the bottom. It was a 40% discount. That's sick.
Hey, bro,
it was as sick as you can imagine. So,
real talk. Well, with that being said, everybody, I enjoyed this show. Chad, I appreciated you guys sticking around through the 2 hours. It was more my fault than anyone else's, so don't blame anybody but me. But now me and time zones are going to have to learn how to have somewhat of a intimate relationship. But
especially if the clocks do or don't fall back, that's going to mess you up in a whole different way. Yeah, for sure.
Seriously. So with that being said, this is your boy Hoodie. That's your guy Angry, and our guy RJ Ochoa, and this is Kush and the Cowboy Smoke Hour. We appreciate y'all being here with us. Peace.
Deep voice rolling in the dark. Say it slow, let it bloom. The smokehouse presence under cedar light and a midnight moon. Boots on the porch and the screen door sighs. Lantern glow dancing in a jar of flies. Old strings hum where the embers sleep, and the whole front yard feels low and deep. Barrel by the fence and a weather bench, smell of pine smoke hanging over the fence. A busted old truck in the dust by the shed, and the radio whispers from the kitchen ledge. They come from the highway, they come from the ridge, riding in quiet as the river bridge. Hats tipped down with a grin on half, like they known this place since the first my back. The smoke, a breeze, and the cold stay kind. Every spark moves like a small lost sign. There's a story in the grain of the tabletop, in a slow sweet hush that the night won't stop. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, on the stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft and the night outside. Miss Rose at the door with a tray of light, cornbread gold and a mason jar bright. One boy laughs with a chip in his tooth, says the world gets kinder in the smokehouse roof. There's a slide guitar crying from the back, like a train on a line that don't look back. And the boots tap time on the plank wood floor, while the moon hangs low by the kitchen door. The yeomen out with their coffee cups, saying pass that flame, let the past wake up. There's a long drawn piece in the evening's hand, like a slow sunrise on a desert land. And the girls in denim with their hairpin loose, got a windbone shining a sweet sad truth. Every laugh falls soft in the drifting haze, like a memory caught in a copper blaze. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, under stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft and the night outside. If the road gets wild and the miles get cold, come back to the fire where the hush takes hold. Let the smoke curl up like a prayer in the trees, let the hard world fade in the evening breeze. One deep voice calls from the timberline, and the whole porch answers in a slow unwind. No rush, no dust, just a steady flame, only the night and the ones by name. Kush and the Cowboys, slow smoke hour. Let it roll, let it glow, let it wash like powder. Kush and the Cowboys, under stars that burn, we don't chase the dawn, we let the embers turn. Kush and the Cowboys, lean back, stay near, hear that low sound ring through the cedar air. Kush and the Cowboys in a warm haze ride, with the whole world soft